Hi, this is Jason from jasonharris.com.au. Just want to let you know some of the things I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about God. I'm passionate about justice. I'm passionate about reading, thinking, and theology, and I'm passionate about writing. This video is really about writing. I just want to let you know a little bit of what I value in writing. First of all, I value realness. I think it's really important that people not feel like they have to pretend. I think Christianity, particularly the legalistic form of Christianity, can make us feel a little bit like we have to pretend who we are and we're afraid to be ourselves. And so it's really important that people be who they are, they be honest with each other, they be direct. And what happens is we develop the ability to have an intimacy that you can't otherwise have. I also value deliberateness. I think it's very easy for us humans to just sort of coast through life and do whatever happens. And I think it's very important that we learn to be intentional in what we do and to think our decisions through very carefully and to live our life in a way that's going to accomplish the things that really do matter to us. Next, I value goodness. Goodness is something that in our day the Christian church has sort of begun to lose, and it's something that is very important for us to have. The Christian church cannot reflect the glory of God in the face of Jesus Christ to the people around us if we don't have goodness. And so something that the church needs to find a way to recapture is basic goodness. And so I have a passion to help us as a church do that. And then finally, I value truth. Truth means that I value what is true more than I value my opinion or my ego. And so when we come to discussions and differences and arguments, we approach them different when we value truth above our own winning or our own ego. And so I try to bring this out in my writing, that truth is more important than any position, and that we should approach all of our questions, all of our issues, all of our discussions through that lens of putting truth first. Now, I just want to give you a bit of a vision of what I'm trying to do with this website, because I'm going to ask you to think about, pray about supporting me in that. If you give to this website, you're going to make it possible for me to do some things that I cannot currently do. One of them, all of them will be about writing. Books. I want to write more books. I don't have much time to do so. And you will make it possible for me to do that. I have some books in the pipeline. One of them is about power and the way it relates to violence, domestic violence in the home and in the church. And that's something I'd really like to get back into in the coming years. Also articles. I have a number of articles that I've already written that I want to edit and make more useful to other people. And also I want to be able to write some new articles in a more regular fashion, and that is something I'm working towards being able to do with my schedule. Another thing that I want to be able to do through this website is activism. God has put me in a position where I have a number of people who are in or just getting out of domestic violence and domestic and family violence, and so many of them are people who are in the church or have been in the church and have been harmed through that. And it is one of my passions in life to help come alongside these people and to assist them, to help them understand the way the gospel relates to these things, to help them understand how to escape violence, particularly violence in the church or that is sanctioned by the Christian church. So this is my vision and my passion, and something that I've been able to do for years, but I want to do more of it, and I want to do it through the website. Now, if you donate to my account, what you're going to be helping me do is two things. You will not be helping pay my salary. I will not take any of the money for my personal use. All of the money that you give will be used for two things. One is running costs. So running a website is expensive. We've been running a website for about 15 years and put many, many thousands of dollars into it. I think it's gotten up to close to $1,000 a year for me on this particular website. There's hosting to pay for, software, licenses, storage, backup, domain registration, so many things that cost money. And so you would be helping to cover those costs, but also you would be helping to hire an editor. So in order for the website to operate the way it needs to, especially with my health and the situation I'm in trying to pastor and do a number of other things as well as this, I need an editor to keep things rolling. Otherwise, this just weighs me down, and it really doesn't work for me. And so right now I have somebody who's doing volunteer editing. That's Kez. She's doing an incredible job with that. But I don't want to leave her doing that on a volunteer basis. I want this to become a more stable thing, a more steady thing. And so any money that you provide would also go towards helping to hire an editor who would be able to make sure this is happening on a regular basis. Finally, I'll just mention that if you go to my Patreon account, you'll see that there are some perks. I will treat this as a relationship in which I will tell you some of the things I'm working on. I'll give you some previews, and you'll see there's some of the perks that come along with being a supporter. So I hope that you will think and pray about how you might support us. It really would be very helpful, and I thank you for considering.